Let's be honest, this year has been a bit of a dumpster fire. Absolutely crazy. There's no two ways about it. 2020 is not our favorite year for anybody. Some of us have had no good news. Some of us have had a little bit of good news. And some of us have had an absolutely great year. But the question is why? Why is it for some people 2020 has not been a dumpster fire for them? Now, I heard a story. I actually saw a video because the parents were videoing at Christmas their teenage daughter. They got her a present. She had been asking and asking and asking for an iPhone. She wanted an iPhone more than anything else. All of her friends had an iPhone. She needed an iPhone. She wanted an iPhone, and her parents thought this would be a great Christmas present. So they had the video going when she opened it up, and all she got for Christmas was an envelope. And in the envelope, she opened it up, and you could already see that on her face was, really? I got an envelope? And she opens it up, and in the envelope, cash, $700. I would not have any problem with getting $700 for Christmas. No problem with that whatsoever. And she just went ballistic. I wanted an iPhone. I wanted this. I wanted that. And all I got was money. Ungrateful. Well, guess what? You cannot, and let me repeat, you cannot grow without having gratitude. I gotta be honest, I'm grateful for having really cool graphic intros and outros. And I'm grateful for the person who did them to me. But you cannot grow without gratitude. Now, yes, I know it's Thanksgiving week. We're getting ready to do stuff, and some of us are complaining about the fact that we can't have family together. Now, for us, our closest relative is either in Kingston, Ontario, or Baltimore, and I don't know which one is farther away. I almost think Baltimore is a little further away than Kingston, Ontario, but they're a long way away. That's where our closest relatives are. So we're used to having Thanksgiving with just the three of us, me, my wife, and my daughter. And that's just the way it's been. But for some other people, having a big family get-together for Thanksgiving is a big deal. A really big deal. And a lot of people are just ungrateful about having to do what they have to do this year. Like I said, 2020 is a bit of a dumpster fire, but you cannot grow without gratitude. You just can't do it. But in order for us to be productive, we have to have a sense of gratitude about things. Gratitude, by the way, is not an emotion. Gratitude develops appreciation. Appreciation is basically gratitude and appreciation is a choice. But being ungrateful is directly linked to several things. And I'm just going to toss them out to you because you can't grow with this concept, with these ideas, with these thoughts in your mind unless you learn, first of all, how to be grateful. So being ungrateful is directly linked to the following 5 things, probably more, but at least these 5 things. And the first one, maybe a little obvious, I'm not sure. But being ungrateful is directly linked to chronic unhappiness. An ungrateful person is not a happy person. The happier the person is, the more grateful they are. So if you see a person that's constantly unhappy about just about everything, they're extremely ungrateful about just about anything. Being ungrateful is also directly linked to, it's kind of hard for me to say that, I'm actually reading it right there, directly linked to trauma, an increased inability to deal with trauma or get over traumatic events. And let's face it, 2020 may have been very traumatic for a lot of people for many different reasons. But being ungrateful in general increases an inability to deal with any kind of trauma, ungratefulness is also linked to psychological problems. It's linked to overwhelm and despair. An ungrateful person has a much higher tendency to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Depression. Thank you. Depression. Just an overwhelm of depression, just being ungrateful for anything. And Being ungrateful is also directly linked to poor health. Poor health, a decline in your health quicker in the later stages of life. You're longer to heal from an injury simply because of ungratefulness. So you cannot grow personally, professionally, in your business, in your life, in anything, unless you learn how to properly have an attitude of gratitude. And that's kind of the idea. Your gratitude affects your attitude. Have you got that? Your gratitude affects your attitude. Imagine ungrateful people. Ungrateful people have an extremely hard time accepting gifts because they take gifts, somebody gives them a gift, and they think, oh, well, you get a gift in your stocking, and stocking is for stocking stuffers, little things, this and that. And let's just say, hey, in your stocking this year, I'm gonna give my significant other deodorant. It's their favorite deodorant. And an ungrateful person would look at that deodorant and say, so you think I stink, do you? You think I have a problem with glands? An ungrateful person looks at things in such a negative way. So what's wrong? You get a new car, and instead of saying, oh, I got a new car, you say, well, what was wrong with the one I don't have? They don't know how to accept. Now, the car is a bit of a stretch, I understand. But ungrateful people don't know how to receive gifts, let alone know how to give gifts. Gratitude is an attitude, and an attitude is a choice you make daily. So every day when you get up, one of the best things you can do, one of the very best things you can do every day is state out loud 3 things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm still breathing this morning. This is good. I'm grateful for the fact that there's hot water when I go to take a shower. I'm grateful for the fact that we haven't run out of toothpaste. My significant other, my wife, my husband is grateful for the fact that we have toothpaste, so that I don't have to deal with their breath every day. You get the idea. Just have an attitude of gratitude, because your gratitude affects your attitude on a daily basis. Be thankful for the things you have. Don't whine about the things you don't have. I'm sitting here looking at an amazing office, and I'm extremely grateful for the office that I have. And yes, it's at home, and that's where I am. But your gratitude affects your attitude about everything. And giving is the highest form of living. I heard that 40 some years ago from John Maxwell. Giving is the highest form of living. We do everything so that we can give to other people, and ungrateful people are not giving people. Ungrateful people, they don't know how to give. Ungrateful people don't know how to accept gifts. And I came across the story of a Christian gentleman by the name of R.G. Letourneau. He was a businessman, and he had this passion for wanting to honor God. He's a Christian. Now, if you're not a Christian, that's okay, but he's a Christian, and the story's about him, so I have to talk about who he is as a Christian. As a Christian, he just wanted to honor God, and he went to his pastor and he said, I have such a passion for sharing the gospel. How can I share the gospel? Maybe I should stop being a businessman, and perhaps I should give my time and all of my efforts to being a pastor, or maybe even a missionary. And his pastor said, the world needs Christian businessmen just as much as they need pastors or missionaries. And he thought about that, and he said, I am pretty good at being business, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be that person that is a Christian businessman. I'm going to be the best that I can possibly be. And so he holds 299 patents, if I understand. He is kind of the pioneer of those massive monster earth-moving machines of all different kinds and shapes. He was kind of the lead guy on creating all of those things, where a lot of his patents are. And he became million upon millionaire. And the quote that I'm going to give you from him is this. He says, the question is not how much of my money I give to God, but rather how much of God's money I keep for myself. He decided that as a Christian businessman, he would give to God. And I've heard the story where it says he started with 10% just tithing, and he felt like he was still making too much money, and he would give 20%, then eventually 30%. It ended up him giving over 90% of everything he made in his business to God, and still was a millionaire. Part because he believed in honoring God first, but he really understood what it meant to be grateful. Grateful for the God that he serves, grateful for being a businessman, and grateful for being successful. And the more he gave, the more he received. Giving is the highest form of living, and it is the epitome of the results of gratitude, pretty much. So I want to end today with this. Grab this book. There it is right there. Grab this book, The Gratitude Effect. Shift your mindset, optimize your outcome, and boost emotional well-being. And it is by Richard J. Cavaness, who lives down in Texas. He's not just a guy who lives in Texas. I know Rich personally. I love the guy. And this book is a great book that just gets you in a framework and in a mindset for gratitude. So take a grab for that. Take a look for that. Now, be sure with this, you like, you share, you comment, or you subscribe, depending upon where you see it. If you see it on Facebook, do the like, share, grab. If you see it on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, because I have a growing YouTube channel, and I'd love for you to do that there. I'm Bill McConnell. Gratitude is the best thing you can have going for you, even during a dumpster fire of a year. Next year is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's all in how you look for it. It's all in how you see for it. Conquer yourself. Have a great day.